In the last video we did the dropping the ship, but as you saw we can drop on top of each other, which is not correct. So we are going to solve it here. To solve that, I think the best place is that where we are checking the validity. So here, when we calculated the x and y, we also need to check that the cells are not taken. So if the cells doesn't have the class of taken, then it's fine. Otherwise, if even one of them has the class of taken, we need to return false, which means it's not a correct drop, so to say. So here I again get the cells that I am working on. So get ship cells function. Again, I'm passing the size, the x, the y, the is flipped that we are, and this time we are checking for player because we are dropping there. Now, if the cells that we have there, any of them is a valid cell, so we are not going off bounds here, just checking that one, and then cell that class list that contains the word taken, we just return false and we don't continue, and we don't even go down here. This is already false. So let's see this in action. Here, let me rotate it. You see this is not correct because it's going off bounds, not correct. Correct now. If I go up, it should be incorrect. Correct, because it overlaps with this one. So all of these are incorrect, but now this is correct again. Great. Try again. I will put it here. Next one here. And next one here. But I believe there is another thing that we didn't check, and that is if this is not a valid drop target, we will still drop it. So if I drop it here, it shouldn't drop, but it will. Because on the drop part, here we don't check if it's a valid drop or not. We just drop it. Okay, so let's go and fix this part as well. So here we would first get the highlighted cells. And that is the cells that are basically highlighted. So filter, where the cell that class list that contains the word highlight. Okay, like so. Now, if the highlighted cells dot length is 0, we don't want to drop it, we just return. So this is like this. Now let's go. Great, I cannot drop it here. Okay, so this is working fine, but there is one problem that I need to solve, and that is basically hidden. And that is in this line, in this dragging ships. When I am removing it, I'm basically removing it from the DOM. So if I go here, if you take a look at these ships that I have here, this is being removed here, but it is not being removed from the dragging ships, which is the selector that I have here. So if I log it here. It's now 5. I drag again, it's 5. I drag again, it's 5. So I need to remove it from the array as well. In order to do that, I need to remove it from 2 parts. So first, I need to get the index of that ship that is being dragged. So I would say the index is the dragging ships. Ship, where the ship has the class list of the dragging ship. Now I know which ship is being dragged, and this is dragging. Okay, now if index is not -1, we have found it. We can say that we don't need this find here. We can just use the index that we just get. And then remove it. Also, we can remove it from the array as well using the splice method. So that splice from index and only 1. Great. So now if I go here, it's working perfect. I have these 2 buttons, but I want that in the beginning I have only the rotate, and when I have all the 5 ships placed, then the start would be enabled. So let's do that part as well. So in order to do that, let's go to the index part and set the start in the beginning as disabled. Like so. So let's say where we have the buttons, which is here, add the class of button.disabled, and the pointer events is none, so we cannot click it, and let's just add the opacity of 0.3. I think that's enough. Okay, so let's see it. Okay, perfect. Now when all the ships are placed, I need to disable this and enable this. So back to the TS file, and here I would check that if the length is 0, which means there is no more ship left, I would just grab the rotate button and then remove the event listener, which was on the click, and it was the rotate. Okay, I again need to get this item and then set the attribute to be disabled, that to true, like so. And for the start, I need to remove the attribute of disabled, like so. So let's go and drop a bunch of ships here, like so. Now this disabled and this is enabled, and we can start the game now. Now we can start the game and try hitting the enemy ships and see how computer will shoot our fleet. But that will be done in the next video.